How is everybody doing this evening? Good. So who can tell me what our foundation is working towards?
The Commons.
The Learning Commons. They're trying to update our media center. If you haven't had a chance to go over to Smith Middle School or Daniel Middle School, even just looking up Learning Commons in K through 12 schools, they're really just trying to update it. So it's having it set up to where it's like high tables, where the teachers can have like little lessons. They've already received a huge screen, like a big screen TV. It's probably almost as big as half of that whiteboard back there, where teachers can bring kids in. They can, the kids that are in a STEM program can do like project-based learning assignments. So she's moving towards it. She's had a lot of parent volunteers these past couple weeks that are shifting the books around and really trying to get things organized. So it would be great if we were able to get some additional funds from Lanessa to be able to support our foundation. I want to start off by talking about Conference Week. Hopefully you guys have gone on to our website, survey.
I haven't been able to get it. It tries to download, but it tells me I'm unable to open it.
Afterwards,
I hit the control, and have you tried to hit the control and the teacher's name at the same time?
No.
So hit the control and the teacher's name, and that's when the sign-in genius will come up.
Also make sure that there is no, at the top it'll say
Enabled.
Make sure you click enable,
Yeah.
that was sent it to me today.
Okay.
Cell phone.
Yes,
And if you're doing it from the cell phone, you have to click open as docs as opposed to open it regular, and then you'll be able to click on the link.
Unless you have PDF installed on your phone.
Right.
The front office ladies know how to get the parents through it, so we're excited about that coming up next week. Students get their report cards on Monday. So we've been reminding them the whole past 2 weeks saying get your assignments in as of last Friday because grades were due today. So report cards will be going home on Monday. You'll of course get the download about that. Our 8th graders are going to be taking the PSAT next Wednesday. That's our preliminary scholastic aptitude test. That's the college entrance exam, just to kind of let them see what it's like. And attached to that, they're also going to be going on the Cooper College bound trip to University of West Georgia. One team goes on November the 10th, the other team goes on November 17th. Something we've been doing for 5 years, ever since I came to Cooper, and it's a way to get them on a college campus. So we switch up where they go. Even those kids, we've gone to Georgia Tech, we've gone to Emory, we've gone to the AU Center, Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse before, and they eat on the campus, they get a t-shirt. It's $30 to parents, and that's it, and it covers, it's very cheap, and that covers the bus trip, the eating on the campus, the t-shirt, and they always come back and have a great time. We want our kids to be able to see this campus and feel themselves on that campus. Our counselor, Ms. Jackson, was trying to work out to where they would also go to a tech school like Chattanooga Tech, but that was kind of hard to coordinate both. But she may be able to do that later on in the year. How many parents know about our 25-book campaign? Yes? Who can give me a summary? Anybody?
If each student reads 25 books, and then they also get their parents and their teachers involved in reading as well, we will meet the goal that the school has set.
Exactly. So how many of you have 25? Every student is expected to read 25 books by the end of the year. So if you've seen this, raise your hand. See this? It should be stapled in your child's agenda book. We gave them out like the second or so week of school as they were taking the reading inventory and the math inventories. We wanted them to write it down and staple in their agenda book so that each time they took the test, they would have their scores written down and also set a goal. So it has a space for date, score, and goal each time because they're going to take the test 3 different times. We've gone over with them what the scores should be by grade level. So for probably a whole week or two, I held these up by grade level. This is the reading inventory. This is where your child should be as far as the ranges for the reading inventory and then for the math inventory. And so when you receive the progress reports, we send home the reading inventory sheets and the math inventory sheets because that gives you a gauge of where your child is and where they need to be. So these are mainly end of year scores, but it's a way for the kids to know where they are as well. So when you go on the main hallway, we have the names of the students who are at reading level, which is proficient, or above, which is distinguished, for reading and math inventory. And then when we give it again, we'll have the kids' names up there for growth. Because we want to celebrate growth. And the Georgia milestones is about growth as well as achievement. So that's why I want them to know what their scores are so that they can, it's okay that you're starting out at 400 and it should be 800, but how much have you grown? So with that being said, that's why we have the 25 book campaign, because we really need our kids reading. And research shows when kids read, they do better in all of their academic subjects. So if your student Lexile score is lower than what it should be, they're probably also struggling in social studies and science, and probably even in math, because they're probably having difficulty reading math problems. So our focus this year is reading, writing, and literacy, and it will be as long as I'm principal anywhere, because that's really the foundation of everything for students. What we have with the 25 book campaign, going back to that, is we have numbers now for the number of books that kids have read, and I'm going to be reading this in the announcements tomorrow, so you guys are the first people to hear it. So for 6th grade, we've had a total of 966 books that have been read. For 7th grade, 959, and for 8th grade, 589, for a total of 2,519 books so far. Yeah, on our way to 25,000 books, so we're a little more than 10%. Okay? And so each student who's read 10 books is they're going to get one of these. Out of our dress down money that you guys have been so gracious about giving your children $1 every Friday, which has been great for our little coffer of money collection, we're going to give $500 to the Media Center for the book fair. So the kids that are going to get these, they're going to get like a coupon to use at the book fair, like $5 or $10, whatever they decide. So use it however you want to use it, but they're going to use it for the book fair to give kids a reward. And we're going to have some additional rewards along the way. So we're going to try to come up with some rewards for like 1 to say 4 books, and then 5 to 9, because this is a 10 book reward. We'll give out ice cream and things like that, but really trying to push and encourage the kids to read. Yes, ma'am.
So, with the 8th grade, 589, however much, I know that's 50% less than the 6th and 7th grade, but the level of difficulty of these 8th grade books, I just can't see 25 books in the school year based on the difficulty of the books that they are reading based on their own score.
But it depends on what the student's Lexile score is.
That's what I'm saying. So
Also what we're saying is, whatever your child's Lexile score is, they should be reading within 100 points of that to push them. And so that's why it's important for them to know, and all they have to do in the Media Center is go on one of the computers and just type in the title of the book, and it tells them the Lexile score of the book.
in the library, they have the same thing.
Yes, in the Media Center, yes. And they should read a combination of fiction and nonfiction books, not just fiction, because fiction is, it's okay, but it doesn't have any factual information in there for it. It's going to be interesting how the kids are going to respond, because I'm going to hold up signs as I do the announcements about it. And so it's okay for 8th grade to be behind, but they got to get caught up, because there are examples in the building.
Good idea, but you know what I try to do with my son is, wherever we're going, driving, take your book, read on the way to practice, read on the way, as long as I just read,
The thing is, with 8th graders being about to go to high school, there's so much reading that's required from here on in. There's so much. And most of you probably have gone to college. You know, you get assigned a text, you get assigned some chapters, you have to read it. So you have to know how to annotate, and teachers are doing all those things with them. Teachers know how to do it, but they have to read. And we want them to start with reading books that they love. So if your student is an athlete, they love, reading about basketball, famous basketball players, that's okay. They should read autobiographies and biographies, but they need to be reading. So it's okay that they haven't started off with, reading something that the teacher may assign, but you need to find their interests first and then branch out from there.
I was just going to say, I just attended a parent meeting at Powder Springs Elementary, and they were promoting the Cobb Library.
Yes.
So using that as a resource and a tool for parents as well, because sometimes it is hard. I do have the Powder Springs Library right around the corner from my house, but sometimes I can't get around there. I've gotten ridiculous fees, the kids forget to take the books back or whatever. So that Cobb Library was just a really good tool, and I've been using it since they've gave me all the resources. So it has all the different types of fictional books, the tumble books, I think it's tumble books and the other one I can't remember right now.
Sure.
But it's just so many different resources that are available with tablets and mobile phones and laptops, so that even though you may not necessarily, like you said, you know, trying to get him to take that book with them. I know my son didn't go anywhere without his phone.
Right.
So that.
And there are ebooks. Kids can also, there are ebooks that you can even get an ebook from our library. It's all
If you
right
have
there.
Amazon Prime, they're giving you free books to read too. So
To put on your Kindle.
yeah, to put
Yes.
on your Kindle. So if you have
Yeah.
that, you can use that.
So yeah, Amazon Prime, reading on your Kindle, it's just extremely important. And if your child is a real reluctant reader and they've been struggling with reading for a long time, my suggestion is to read with them. As difficult as that is, just say, okay, we've had dinner, you've relaxed a little bit, you know, you've done your other homework, let's just read 15, 20 minutes together. You read to me a little bit and I'll read to you. There's no magic to it. I taught language arts middle school for a couple of years. There's no magic. And so if they've already gotten to middle school and they're really struggling, it's catch-up time before they get to high school. And what we're doing here at Cooper is we have expanded the Read 180 program. Last year, we had one full-time Read 180 teacher, another half, and I think all of our special education language arts teachers, they taught Read 180. This year, we have almost every social studies teacher doing it during third period. We have almost every language arts teacher teaching it during third period. We have a full-time and a half teacher doing it. So we've captured just about everybody but the kids still have to read. The program only works if we work the program. So, for example, within those classes, the kids are, there are 3 stations. Some of them are at the computer, some of them are reading independently, some of them work with the teacher, and that's how the program is set up. They have ebooks, they have goals they have to meet, and we found a lot of growth last year. So we're expecting just as much growth, if not more, but again, reading is essential for them, and again, finding books that they're interested in. We also started just today a reading support class for 40 6th graders who are struggling with reading. So we identified 2 teachers who are willing to be a part of the program. Parents bring them from 7:45 to 8:45, and they're going to be reading together with that teacher, only 20 kids per teacher, to provide them some additional support as well. So, yes.
With the Read 180 program, if a student is in that, I know that I had asked 2 other teachers before, but they couldn't answer. The ebooks that are there that are available, are they able to go on that outside of the school to read those books?
Yes, they should be
And
able to.
what is the login? Because the teachers that I asked, they said they didn't know.
Okay, well, let me find that out for you.
Okay.
I'll write myself a note to find that out for you.
Because I tried to do that before the break.
Because I wanted to, we just had the Read 180 rep come out and she observed the classes and she was kind of sharing some of the information with me. So I'll find out and then because I want to put it on our website and be able to tell you guys about it through Google Dial-outs. Okay. I'll put, anything else about reading, about that reading campaign, about the Cooper College Bound, PSAT, anything you guys can think of?
I want to just go back really quick to what you said about reading out loud. That was the New Seller articles that they
Yes.
read. So my son was going through it the other day and reading, and then he had to take a quiz. I knew that it was difficult, so I read it out loud to him, and I was like, "There's no way that you know what this word means." Because I'm thinking to myself, "Do I know what this word means?" So when he said he was finished, but I was like, "Okay, we need to go through this together and go over not just you reading, but understanding the vocabulary, really knowing what you're, you know." So there was okay. So it's good, it is a good idea to go back and read aloud.
Yes.
Because they're still skimming people. Right? I got it from the context around. I was like, no, but this word means 5 different things. So you really don't know what it means.
And that'll be a good way to have your child use their cell phones to just Google the word, to look it up and to find out, what part of speech it is. Yes, what part of speech it is to make sure that they understand what the word means. That's a good way to use your cell phone for something besides Snapchat, Instagram, all those things. The cell phone is good for other things as well. You guys don't know this yet because I just had a meeting with Sally Creel, who is over the Cobb STEM certification program, Ms. Mickelson, who's our STEM director for our school. And the state is coming out on December 1st to visit us for state STEM certification. So we're really excited about that. And we are getting our teachers prepared. We'll get our students prepared because they tend to spend most of their time talking to students. And we will need some parents to come in to answer some questions as well. So we'll be gearing up for that. And we're also in March. I don't think we have a date for that yet. Advanced Ed is going to come out to certify us for Advanced Ed State. STEM certification as well, and that's the accrediting agency. So that's another component, so we're excited about that. So we'll be getting ready for that, and again, asking some parents to come be a part of the panel to answer questions about the STEM program. So, any questions you guys have for me that I might not have covered with the things that I've talked about so far? Yes, ma'am?
I'm having like a couple issues with it. Okay, since my child, he plays sports, so he's on a tight, regimen when he does his homework, everything. So what's the process where the teachers are supposed to put, I guess in their blog, what they're doing for the next week? Do all teachers do it? Is that something all teachers do? Because I know Ms. Moore is very good about that, because I can look ahead, like that week, like she usually put in on Mondays, and I can look in that all week and know what he's doing, what's exactly, and then I print off everything that he has to do, so that really helps me, but some teachers.
My suggestion for teachers is for them not to do it every day, that it's better to do it by the week.
Right.
So if you have an issue with an individual teacher, I'll address that, and we'll get it fixed.
I mean, is that the process, they're supposed to do it every week?
To do it every week, yes, so that way they don't have to go in every single day and put the assignment in. Now, if there's a change in the assignment, that's different, but to like take care of it.
So
As
I'm
far
just
as,
wondering.
okay, as far as assignments,
No.
Yep, it's
Okay. okay, all right, so let me know, and I'll get it fixed. Yes, ma'am.
I also have a question.
Yes,
I have an issue with my son being out of class so much and
based on,
some health issues.
okay,
And it's kind of like his grades are decent. They're pretty good, but some of the classes he's been, like for instance math, you can't really stand to miss math. Because you have to do
Right.
repetition, you gotta, apply it and do it. But he is out sometimes about 20 minutes in the nurse's office. And I try sometimes to get him, here earlier, and sometimes I can't. But, he's not being caught up really on it.
yes,
And that's the issue that I have. Now, I was actually not gonna use, the medical as the issue, but it's beginning to be that as he's getting older, he's missing more. It was okay back in the day, but now
is he a 7th grader?
he's a 7th grader.
And I think I know who your son is.
Yeah, and so I'm having a issue with that because I have him reading my med surgical book, reading big words, and so he can understand things well. It's just that he needs, and he's not gonna necessarily go and after class because he's trying to avoid people knowing this and that about him. So he's not necessarily going to go back and say, hey,
I need help.
yeah, and
So with math, many of the math teachers offer tutoring before or after school. So I would send those math teachers, and it'll be either Miss Miller or Miss Lopez.
Lopez.
Okay, yeah. And find out when they offer tutoring, and if you can get him tutoring, that would be great, so that he can get caught up, especially with the math. Have you talked to the nurse?
I have. I talked to her several times. She actually lets him, she'll go send him sometimes back after he's stable to get his work and do it. But if she's already gone over that,
Right.
then that's
And then
time
he
that
misses
he's
that
already missed.
instruction.
And so I had suggested coming early in the morning and going to the class and say, hey, can you go over this that I missed,
Yes.
just to not,
Right.
disturb anybody
Yes.
else.
Yes.
But that's not working.
Okay. And most of the teachers, and I believe Ms. Lopez does offer either before or after school tutoring once or twice a week. So just send
And I got that unit one, like we did that, and he said he was comfortable doing it. But what the issue is if he is having a medical something go on, like we had a game this weekend, and you could tell he was just moving really slow. And, his dad was like, something's wrong with him, and he was just like all over the place, like not functioning. And we took him out, checked on him, and he had a low blood sugar. And so if he's taking a test or something like that, then what may tend to happen is that for no rhyme or reason, he may have something go on.
Does he have a 504?
He does.
Okay.
He does have that. But I have not been, maybe, my fault, but I was trying to give him that autonomy, but I see that I'm probably
Yeah.
probably have to step in and,
Yes.
and kind of be a little bit more
Forceful
proactive.
about it.
Yeah, because it's gonna, I call myself being proactive, but I was trying to help him,
Yes.
but maybe I haven't, maybe the teachers are not really aware. I don't know.
Probably trying to deal with so many students, but that's neither here nor there. Just I would make Ms. Lopez aware if I have a conversation with her, send her an email. And the conference week is next week, so if you're gonna.
Yeah, I've already done it. I just didn't want to make the excuse be the health issue, but I see now if he's going to be out of class 20 minutes out of this class and he's going 3 or 4 times a day and staying 20 minutes, he's missing too much information
Right,
to retain, you know,
Absolutely.
what he learned.
So we may have to reconvene the 504 meeting and try to figure out what we can do.
That's what the counselor suggested earlier,
Yes.
but yeah, that's why I'm looking her all the time now.
Yes.
See what's going on. Just like you
Yes.
stated.
So we can make sure that we
Yeah.
have all the systems in place to support him.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anything else? Yes, yes.
I think I meant to ask this last year, I don't remember. So, the teacher of the year, so Ms. Biggins, do parents have any input in suggestions or recommendations?
For teacher of the year?
Mhm. Okay.
It's, we don't even get to vote as administrators. How the county, they send us a guideline packet. And so for classified employee of the year, it's classified employees and teachers can vote. But for teacher of the year, it's only certified people, but not administrators. So we do a ballot, I count up the ballots, and have the teachers vote in the cafeteria, initial their names. And if you don't win by more than 50%, you have to have a runoff. So in the past couple years, I've had to have a runoff. So Ms. Francis is our teacher of the year this year, and then we will have a real big celebration at Roosevelt Street Baptist Church in about 2 more weeks, and then we'll take a bus of about maybe 15, 20 kids. They'll rah-rah her, and it's really, I don't want to say too much, it's a nice breakfast with her and her family, and then it's a big pep rally in the St. Paul Park where Pebblebrook's performing arts kids, they sing several songs, dance, and it's a whole bunch of noise, and we get t-shirts. Hey, she better be watching this. So it's pretty cool because I'm videotaping it. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, but yeah, that's the county sends the guidelines for how we do teacher. You have somebody in mind? Yes. Anything else? Any questions? So raise your hand if it's your first time coming to Chat and Chew. First time? Not yet. First time, yes, first time. Welcome. So tell us your name and what grade your student is in.
My name is Marquita. Mike, and he's in 6th grade.
6th grade. Okay.
So you shop for me.
Welcome.
He's elementary.
Yes.
And
Welcome.
even with the conferences, I was like, I got a conference with every teacher.
If you want to, yeah, because it's I know it's a big adjustment.
Yeah, very big.
Yes. Well, we hope we've made you feel comfortable about middle school, about your child being in middle school. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Amber, and my student is in 6th grade.
6th grade. Okay. All right. So has been a good adjustment for her?
It's an adjustment.
It's an adjustment.
He's in advanced classes in the STEM program. I'm very excited and about that. He gets a little stressed sometimes because that 80% that you gotta keep.
Yeah.
Like I told him, you go to school every day. We help you with your homework. Just turn it in. You do great.
Just turn it in.
Just turn it in. You do great.
That's the key.
Yes.
Organization is a big deal.
Yeah.
We're trying to find ways to help our kids be organized. We've even, like some kids, you just see them with big tons of paper. So, honey, come to the office and get a new binder. That's just not going to work out. Find one paper from your math class, or doing all this. And then for some kids, I even asked them for boys the other day, how come you guys do your homework and you don't turn it in?
I know.
And I don't know if it's because I can't find it or because I just don't feel like it. I do not know.
It's a combination.
Yeah,
You can't find it and don't feel like looking for
Can
it.
you send me an email?
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, my son was the same way, in high school especially, and he would do his homework, I saw him do it, but he wouldn't turn it in. I said, what kind of cat and mouse game are you playing with the teacher? Exactly. I don't get it, but some kids do that. First time as well?
First time,
Yes.
Courtney, 7th grade.
7. 6 and 7 grade. Felix, and what's your other son's name? Patrick. And Neil? New students to Cooper. Yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing them. And they came from what school? Farrell's, okay. Welcome.
One quick question.
Yes.
What was the transition of them no longer being able to carry book bags this year?
They started it last year. With the trapper keepers because they kept having a hard time going to lockers, figuring out what needed to take out. So the sixth grade teachers and Dr. Thurman decided just to have the sixth graders take trapper keepers. It's organization.
It works.
Yeah, because the lockers, lockers to sixth graders is like cursive writing to third graders. Oh my gosh, my lockers! So they have the lockers all the time. They can't find stuff. It's just, and then they're late to class, and yeah. And I know a big deal for sixth graders is there's no recess. So one kid said, "How can we make Cooper better?" I was asking some kids, "Give us back recess." We can't give it back to you because we never took it in the first place. But they miss it. Yeah. But everybody didn't get PE.
Right. They don't.
Yeah, everybody, because remember, it's a connection, so it depends on what you're assigned to for your two connections classes.
They get to choose though, right?
Yeah.
So tell that little boy to take PE.
Yeah, you can take PE. That's true. That's why we like for lunchtime to be a time when that's when they get to talk, they get to take out their phones, they get to, that's their social time. And then because of our PBIS program, they also get Fresh Air Fridays a couple times a month where if they have so many PBIS Cooper Cash, they can sit where they want to sit in the cafeteria or sit outside with their friends, and then, their PBIS Rewards Day for them as well, to be able to, to do some fun stuff. Anything else? Any other questions?
Just about this, with the thanks for giving, is it a specified list of foods that we're driving, or?
It's mostly canned goods.
You gonna go over that, Sean?
You go ahead. I'm okay. Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Dr. Watkins finished.
Okay,
Okay, that's fine.
are you done, Delta?